Live from the Shed, everybody should be checking out, following Live from the Shed, because I believe they are actively involved in the, if not planning and organizing, at the very least, I'm saying this because I don't want to get anyone in trouble. Lord knows in Canada, you can get in trouble for planning a rally if the government comes in and calls it an unlawful rally. So go check out Live from the Shed for anybody who doesn't know, and you can get some info there. Coordinated gathering. Well, let's just hear what the government, let's read, I should say, what the government has to say about the coordinated gathering. Because what the Ottawa police put out, I mean, it's, where am I going to go to get it? Well, here, I'll go to my tweet afterwards. This is from, just so everybody appreciates it, it's from the Ottawa police website. So there had been a number of PDFs that were being circulated. People, it's not rocket science. Don't share screen grabs. Don't share images with text if you haven't verified them on your own, for obvious reasons. So I saw a number of tweets and a number of images. I was like, I'll tweet the actual screen grab that I pull myself with my own two eyes from the website when it's up. But better than that, we're at Ottawa Police. You can see I've highlighted it here, and I'm just going to refresh so everybody knows this is straight up legit. I am not agreeing to cookies. Ottawa Police statement on Rolling Thunder. That's what the rally is called, Rolling Thunder. For immediate release, people wait until you actually read what the Ottawa Police are tweeting, or what their press release for the Rolling Thunder, which is the event scheduled for April 29. I will be there documenting in real time, again, so that nobody can lie or fabricate or misrepresent what goes on, for good or for bad. If I can get there. I don't know what part of Ottawa they're blocking off the traffic, but we'll see. The Ottawa Police, whatever. Do we need me to highlight? We're at the first paragraph, people. The Ottawa Police Service has developed an enhanced operational approach to manage the Rolling Thunder event scheduled for April 30th. Sorry, not April 29th. Along with any impacts from the arrival of participants on April 29th. We have heard the concerns of the community. Since February, we have adjusted our overall approach to all demonstrations, protests, events, and rallies. Listen to this. This is like when Justin Trudeau says, I'm not bringing in the military and I'm going to respect your charter rights, but I'm bringing in a militarized police and I'm freezing your bank accounts with no court order and immunizing the banks for so freezing your bank. But don't look at what I'm doing. Just listen to what I'm saying, people. The right to lawful and peaceful demonstrations will always be protected. We will not allow for unsafe or unlawful conditions that could lead to another unlawful protest as seen in February. I've got a question. Who declared that protest to be unlawful? Where is it ordered, deemed by a court? Because unlawful is not a matter of opinion, it's a matter of law. Hence, contrary to law, unlawful. Where is there a court order that has declared that protest unlawful? There might have been unlawful acts committed during that protest. Where is there an order of the court, a judgment, I won't even say an edict. Where is there anything that confirms the protest back in February was unlawful? Unlawful acts being carried out at a lawful protest is far different than an unlawful protest. Where? I haven't seen it yet. Maybe there is something there. I just haven't seen it. Listen to this. What do? Vehicle exclusion zones. You have the right to protest if you can get there. As a result of the unlawful protest, just keep repeating it. Keep repeating it. You know, when you're in court and you just bad faith, you keep saying bad faith. As a result of their bad faith actions, as well as their malicious, just keep repeating it, and eventually it just becomes true through repetition. As a result of the unlawful protest, the city of Ottawa's position is that no motor vehicle protests, rallies or events will be allowed in the designated downtown core areas. You can protest. We're just going to tell you how you can do it, when you can do it. And if we don't like what you're doing, we're going to call it unlawful, and it shall become fact. The Ottawa Police is supporting and enforcing that decision. That's how things work now? The Ottawa Police makes a decision. They don't follow the law right now. They follow their own opinions. They follow their own positions. We issue our position, and we will be respecting our position. Very principled. This includes near Parliament Hill and the National War Memorial and applies to all demonstrations, rallies, and events. All motor vehicles will be prohibited from participating in any of these events in these designated areas. Okay, fine. So they want to keep cars out of designated areas. Fine. I'm prepared to even say that's fine. The way you're describing it in your preamble is a problem. Yeah, you don't want cars driving through a protest anyhow. So yeah, you'll create the designated area and no cars park outside. And I think that's what effectively happened anyhow, above and beyond the cars that parked on Wellington during February. Everybody else parked their cars outside and walked in. Increased police presence. We will receive significant additional resources from multiple partner agencies. What does that mean? They're not bringing in the military, but it sounds like they're bringing in somebody. It sounds like they're bringing in some other forces outside of Ottawa. That's what it sounds like to me. Oh, I'm sorry, here. Including RCMP, OPP, and municipal police services. We're bringing in the cavalry, quite literally. RCMP, for those of you who don't know, stands for Royal Canadian Mounted Police. Mounted because they're on horses. Literally, we're bringing in additional resources, the cavalry. Maybe this time they learned their lesson from last time and they won't parade horses through a crowded protest. Maybe. Who knows? Maybe they learned the wrong lesson from that the last time. The focus of these resources will be on public safety. Of course, it's always for your safety, maintaining the right to protest, and enforcing applicable laws. We are limiting your right to protest to maintain your right to protest. Orwell would be very happy. He's smiling in his grave. That's not, okay, fine. Organizers, any organizer of any event, we're not talking about this one, people. It's everyone, I'm sure, will be held accountable for their actions before, during, and after the events. This is tantamount to a lawyer saying, may I remind you that you're under oath? Thank you. You're going to hold people responsible for their conduct. That's what the law is. You don't need to remind us that you're going to enforce the law if that's what you're going to do, unless that's not exactly what you're going to do, but who knows? Listen to this. Online comments. People, let me just go star a super chat so I can come back to it. We continue to monitor online and open source commentary related to all events. Threatening or intimidating behaviors will be investigated and subject to charges where warranted. First of all, that should always be true. That should always be true. You don't need to say committing crimes will be investigated. We continue to monitor online and open source commentary related to all events. By the way, at least they're telling you, what their intentions are, because I have a sneaking suspicion the intention is to search through social media and misconstrue, read dog whistles into any variety of innocuous messages to justify investigations, to justify political persecutions of their ideological adversaries. And that is why I've said it from the beginning. I'll say it again. And OPP, you should be very happy with me. You know what they're looking for, people. Anyone who's planning to attend this as a participant, you know what they're looking for. Do not give them any excuse, any reason. The problem is, and I documented 40 plus hours of this during the last protest. They didn't really give the police or the government any meaningful excuse the last time, and yet they still found an excuse. But you will not win any battles with the police, knowing what they're looking for, by giving them an excuse. Always peaceful, without exception, end of sentence, full stop. But it gets even better, guys. I'm sorry. I haven't seen the chat in a while. Investigations, investigative teams, including our hate crime unit. The power lies in the accusation. When someone calls you a racist, a xenophobe, a Yahtzee, an anti-Semite, the power lies in the accusation. It could be as absurd as calling Ben Shapiro a right-wing extremist, but the power lies in the accusation. You accuse someone of it, other people get to run with the accusation, despite all idiocy of the accusation itself. But they're bringing in the hate crime unit. They're focused on gathering evidence and laying charges. We are also in touch with the crowd. Like, okay, first of all, if crimes are committed, you don't have to say these things. But for this rally to the war memorial from veterans, they're warning that they have a hate crime unit in place. It's almost incentivizing certain idiotic behavior from attention-seeking individuals or saboteurs. It's almost incentivizing it. But after all of this, by the way, Charter of Rights and Freedoms, as a police service, we will always protect the rights of individuals to lawfully and peacefully protest in line with the Charter of Rights and Freedoms. By the way, I think the judge in the injunction said the same thing about the last protest. Since the removal of the unlawful protests, we have worked to ensure more than 100 protests could occur lawfully and peacefully in the core. That's interesting. As we do with all events, we reached out to Rolling Thunder's organization to ensure we understand their plans. We do this for every event, from football games to rallies to demonstrations. This is not meant to support any specific cause, but to ensure that lines of communications and the public, yada, 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 what to expect. All right, and you can go read the rest. I had to get to the hate crime part. And I'm going to go post this in here so you all can share it. And anybody who goes there, anybody who shares it, do not give them an excuse, because you know they're looking for an excuse. How do I get this out of here? It's not a question of turning the other cheek. It is a question of knowing what they are looking for, knowing what they want to hold against you, what they want to use against you, and not even giving them the iota, the perception of an excuse. I'm going to get to my tweet in a second, but let me bring up some chats. It's outrageous. It's absolutely outrageous. Google "picking your feet in Poughkeepsie," a line from Gene Hackman in The French Connection. It meant the authorities can invent any excuse they need in order to arrest or harass you. Yeah. They're bringing in a hate crime unit. They're going to be looking for hate crimes, people. Make sure there's no misunderstandings. Make sure that a dog doesn't urinate on the Oscar Peterson memorial in Ottawa, because they'll call that a hate crime. And by the way, I say that glibly, facetiously. I say that tongue in cheek. That's how disingenuous the prosecution in some of the cases we've seen from Ottawa would be. There's an Oscar Peterson, and I just knew it offhand because when I was there, you go by, it's Oscar Peterson at a piano, it's playing some of his music. You go by and have if the demographics fit, you have someone whose dog does lifts its leg on the stand of the piano. You will have people saying that that's a hate crime. No joke. That is as absurd as the world in which we are living currently is.